Frankie and Tommy here. Previous episode highlights open with car divorce court, and Keith already has blood on the bumper.
But are you, I agree 100%, are you comparing an IROC to a Trans Am?
No, I'm taking it back to fucking, like, the IROC was...
Okay, good. I was going to say, because Jesus Christ, that funny farm really got a hold of you.
Dude, we both know the IROC was like the poor cousin.
He just gave the IROC expired coupon energy. That car is outside revving with a fake gold chain.
It was like, okay, we got to try to reinvent the Trans Am 1,000 years later. Let's make the Chevy IROC. What the fuck is that?
That is a vehicle you buy after saying, I know a guy, and ignoring 6 financial warnings.
I don't even know where the IROC came from.
I know.
It was like Camaro, there was Chevelle, there was all these really fucking, like, cool, I guess you'd say 60s and 70s.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And where the fuck that thing came from? I think their goddamn, car designer was on a bad fucking trip or something.
That designer looked at a Camaro and said, what if insecurity had T-tops?
Oh, then all of a sudden, IROC. You're like, what? What is that? Dude, how was your weekend? I know you had some company.
That is male friendship. Insult a car for 90 seconds, then casually open the divorce portal.
How was it?
It was good. A lot of relaxation, which was really nice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, just hanging out, chatting, and company and conversation, so to speak.
Yeah, my buddy is unfortunately going through a separation.
Separation is a word that makes every beer in the room taste like paperwork.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it just fucking hit, too.
Oh, like just hit him kind of thing, like mentally, you mean? Like it was one of those, like kind of like waking up going, oh, my life is now different?
That line is adult horror. One morning you own mugs together, then suddenly the mugs need lawyers.
Yeah, but I mean, it all hit like fucking bam. Or I mean, it was like, not like it hit him. The whole thing just happened.
Oh, no shit.
So you're correct. It just hit him because it just happened.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Scrappy and Storytelling. Hey, guys, it's been a hot minute. I was definitely a Trans Am guy. That's funny. And then, yes, we got the guy from Russia. Oh, no, it's Sullivan.
I don't know if you should be admitting that, dude. I don't know. My buddy likes to fight, so we watch the fights.
Did you watch it?
I didn't make it up to the last one, though.
Well, you didn't. You do.
I only need to stay awake for 17 more seconds. But
paying for 17 seconds of violence is insane. That is OnlyFans billing with gloves.
What? So 17 seconds? That's so. The fight started. I put my head back on the pillow on the couch, and it was over.
The couch hit him with anesthesia. He closed his eyes and missed an entire man losing consciousness.
I was like, oh. Okay, that was done.
Well, so remember when Rousey went when she was undefeated, she lost, right?
Yes.
Went into this fucking brutal depression, right?
That is real terror. Losing publicly means your brain gets a microphone and absolutely no producer.
Yes.
And just had all sorts of trouble with, anyway. Got over it, once the WWE realized, okay, there's an entertainment value here, let's just keep making money.
Yeah.
But when you watch her, like when she wins, it's almost like you can see this relief because, here's this female who had this side of her that was just ultra Olympic competitor.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yes.
Went through this brutal depression. I mean, who knows if you ever get out of something like that?
Yeah.
And she's fucking going, she's basically poking the bear right here.
The bear is not the fighter. It is the replay living rent-free and eating snacks in her head.
She's like, fuck, am I going to have to go back into that place, or am I going to be able to, you can see right there, she's so happy she doesn't have to.
Awesome. Isn't that awesome? Because we get so caught up in what things look like.
Well, you know what I'm curious about? Well, let's ask Grok. I'm just curious. I mean, it's if he actually did, was smart with all his money, sitting on a really fucking good position.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool perspective.
John is right to check the receipt. Broke wisdom and rich wisdom wear the same sunglasses.
If he fucking squandered it all away and now this is position, this is a little bit of a different speech.
Yeah, so Grok died on me this morning because I forgot to plug the phone in. So Grok is not with us this morning, but I'm with you that you're right. So that if this is his story now because he lost all his money, true. But
if he still got all his money, this is a great story.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, it was. I love the fact, no, I go to Claire's. He's like, why the fuck am I buying the big jewelry when I go to Claire's?
Claire's just became Wall Street for men who forgot anniversaries until lunch.
Well, but is he going to Claire's now?
Well, yeah,
And not going to Claire's before?
Yes.
That's the question we got to ask here, because
I know.
someone that changes their name legally to Ocho Cinco doesn't strike me as a guy who's saving all his money.
I will. Well, so okay, so here we go. Machine Gun Kelly and
Ask fucking you got different shit on your phone. Ask your phone, right?
let me hold on. Let's do
You've
it.
got
Look.
you've got all these crazy fucking.
Yeah,
things.
let's ask Grok. Actually, that's hold on. I'm gonna go Grok here. Hey Grok, so did Chad Ochocinco blow all of his money, or does he still? Did he blow all of his money, or has he been quite responsible with his money?
I have no idea who Shadow Chilchinko is.
Shadow Chilchinko sounds like the guy who sells fake cologne outside a club called Secrets 2.
Doesn't ring any bells.
No,
for
Chad Ochocinco.
NFL player. I mean, let's be honest. Who the fuck? What type of character or person do you think is gonna fucking stand inside a mouse outfit all fucking day and trade their time for money? That guy buys cigarettes, lottery tickets, regular coke. This is anybody that thinks, well, that's weird, doesn't fucking get it.
That mouse outfit rant is why the previous episode deserves your time. Full show is up next. Wear emotional gloves.
Fellas, if your wife is crying, shaking, and begging you to talk, and you respond like a customer service chatbot with low battery, that's not calm. That's emotional hit and run in sweatpants. Today, we're getting into the narcissism of the avoidant husband. Why your silence makes her look crazy, and why that same "I'm just being calm" routine might be turning your marriage and your bedroom into a haunted house. Buckle up, because Briana Bass is coming in with the flamethrower. Only on mornings in the lab.
Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon and Fred, your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. Come hit the like, come hit the subscribe, and come jump into the comments. Come check into the show. Come say hello. Mornings.live over on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network. Get up, build a streak, and show us your proof that you are up. The real story, nation, is that the media we are creating is becoming more programmable. Personality is becoming scalable, and character and the universes we create, well, that's becoming infrastructure. Yeah, I lost my mouse. Hey, good morning, everybody. Some men think that calm means control. Well, I'm under control right now because my mouse is gone. Jimmy, where's my mouse? No, I didn't see mice. I said mouse. Hey, but sometimes you're calm. Because men, our calm is just a fancy word for disappearing while your wife carries the whole emotional weight of the relationship like she's dragging a dead body through Costco. Well, today we're not going to let that slide because Briana Bass is here for the big conversation, why she hates your calm, the narcissism of the avoidant husband. That conversation, it starts right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. But first, you know how it goes, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon and Friends, your live morning show for the generation we call X. What's going on, Whitaker? I see you out there. We all hang out, we get up, we get after it every single morning right here at 8 o'clock Eastern time for real talk, motivating content, and some entertaining conversation. But of course, it starts before us. The man of the network himself, the one man, the solo man, the dude. His name, Matt Roof. That Kindness Rising. The whole network starts behind Matty. Roofy, if you weren't here, brother, I don't know who would start it all off. Thanks to Matt for kicking off the network every single morning. The Mornings in the Lab live authority network every single day here. 8 o'clock, actually 7:30 with Matt Roof. And today he was digging into the Sam Altman Elon Musk trial. And, I got to appreciate Roofy, man, calling up the stuff here. That was actually a high school situation for like weeks, wasn't it, Roofy? It was just children crying. And actually, so I was thinking about, I was listening to your show here today, and I was very not surprised that the jury made the decision that they did. Because I think deep down, like, fuck that Musk guy. Oh, sorry guys, this is an X-rated show. Yeah, so we will offend you along the way probably. But I do like what Roofy was talking about this morning on the show, because I think the jury was like, you know what, fuck that guy. He's got so much cash, he can do whatever he wants. It's like, nah, you know what, we're gonna throw it out. Anyways, if you're looking for a way to get up with some kindness, if you're looking for a way to just get up with a guy who leads the generation that we all belong to, his name's Matt Roof, 7:30 Eastern time, right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and Friends. Coming up to the show here today, guys, Briana Bass is joining us at the top of the hour. We're going to get into narcissism of the avoidant husband. Oh yeah, you're too calm. Oh yeah, I don't want to show you an emotion. I'm not stoic. I'm just fucking super calm. I'm just a calm man. Yeah. Hey, also standard reminders, guys, if the parents are in the room, get out. Kids, you are here. Kids, you are in the room. Parents, kick out here. Kai, I just dropped the music up for you. Kai, is the music better for you? Is that better? There you go. Much better. Yes. And listen, we got a poll. I'm not going to say the joke here today. We got a poll. How do you typically react when a personal conflict gets highly emotional? Do you shut down? Do you get loud? Or do you ask for a pause or to cool off? Or do you become the stoic where you just don't do nothing? Yeah, what is it? Hey, what is it? Hey, coming up today, Tom Farley. You recognize the last name. Yeah, brother to Chris. Drop it in the show here today. We're talking addiction. We're talking a bunch of stuff that I think affects all of us, men and women, especially from the generation that we call X. And hey, we got the daily question. What is one specific habit you can stack today to ensure you stay emotionally engaged with your partner during your next disagreement? Man, so when you go through a disagreement, it's hard to, when you get back into a good space, to revisit the bad space because you don't want to take it back to the bad space again. It's like, okay, we're in a good place again. How do we address the conflict without going back into conflict again? Maybe that's a good conversation for Briana today. Hey, Briana, we are out of conflict, but we are going back into conflict. How do we stay out of conflict? Yeah. Coming up, Briana Bass today on the big show. Hey, guys, if you've been snoozing since the beginning of the year, I got my daily reminder, snoozetracker.mornings.live. The cost of 9 minutes. As of today, you are 20 hours and 51 minutes behind. Oh, tomorrow, 21 hours behind. Yes. Oh, I can't wait to get to 24 hours, man. I think we're going to make a movie on this one, Kai. Yeah, 24 hours of laying there doing nothing. It's going to be a big hit in 2027. It's called 24 Hours Laying There Doing Nothing. Yeah, true story. And then We'll have the sequel and the trequel and the quadruple and everything along the way here. So guys, if you are looking for a daily accountability partner, somebody to help you get up and get after it every single morning, come join myself, Jon Andersen, and of course, Matt Roof right here on the Mornings in the Lab, the Live Authority Network. Hey, what's coming up on today's show? Guys, what's coming up on today's show? Hey, so I got some stuff that we all just kind of grew up with here. Yeah, one of them. You know the dude that found the glove? Dead. Yep. Yeah, Mark Furman passed away yesterday, 74 years old, had aggressive throat cancer. What's going on, Sullivan? Good to see you out there, brother. Typically, maybe not something we would talk about, but the fact of the matter is, nation, that name is a name we grew up with. And I suspect anybody in our generation that we call X, whoa, just about to drop the laptop over here. I suspect anybody in that generation that we call X would be familiar with that name. Yes, of course. And hey, Mark Cuban is in the news with that man in the administration for every reason that we can't believe. And that's pretty funny. We're going to have that conversation today as well. And hey, did you know that if you were in Hawaii right now, yeah, no shadows. Yeah, so it's apparently Lahaina noon. I learned that today, Lahaina noon, when Hawaii's sun makes everything float. There's no shadows, just magic. I guess it's the way that the sun hangs out in the sky there. It does not give any shadows out there, so kind of neat. Yeah, and Tom Farley is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Chris Farley's brother from burying his hero to 25 years of recovery. Sophia Grant's going to bring us in and introduce us to the man we call Tom Farley, Chris's brother, for a conversation that goes way deeper than celebrity nostalgia. I think we all grew up with Chris. I was a huge fan of Chris Farley. Massive. Well, not his size, but his size too. Massive fan of Chris, man. And I was saddened when he passed away. Whenever that was, I don't recall it. I apologize for that. And then, of course, we got Briana Bass joining us as she does every single Tuesday. She's going to join us for No Safe Words. And today's topic is going to punch some of us right in the nervous system. We're talking about the avoidant husband. Guys, are you avoidant? Hey, Whitaker, are you avoidant? Sully, when you're hanging out with the females, are you avoidant? We're going to talk about the man who shuts down because he goes silent and refuses to engage. I will tell you, I've gone through some of those periods in my life where I'm like, I'm not talking. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just not saying nothing. And they're like, nah. And then I quickly realized that, no, that's not good. And then I just wore my emotions on my sleeve. But I'll tell you, that's something I've had to learn. I've had to learn that in my life. And, the idea of allowing emotion. Yeah, true story. And hey, my monologue today, morning television is dead. Yep, it's dead. Look at the stats. But morning media is not. No, Morning Focus. I'm going to talk about the death of traditional morning TV and why the morning ritual itself, I believe, is far from dead. I know you, Whitaker. You are engaging. You are a communicator. You are a massive communicator, Dwayne. And that's one thing that I think that every relationship could do probably a much better job of, which is communicate, over-communicate, so we don't have to get into the narcissism of the avoidant husband, or perhaps even the narcissism of the avoidant wife. Listen, it takes two to tango. So there we go. All right, Jimmy, you know what's coming up next? I know you got a button to press there, and I know that button has... there we go, Sully. Yes, he passed in, 97. That's what it was. I took my 6-year-old brother to see his Black Sheep, him in a theater not too long ago there. What's going on, Anusha Telukadar? I'm from Bangladesh. Good morning, Anisha Telukadar. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. 97, holy smokes. What is that, 97, 07, 17, 20, fuck, almost 30 years ago. Dude, Sully, you're making me feel old right now. Well, listen. Hey, Jimmy, you got a button that says loop on it? Because I think we should get into the show. Because the show goes like this. The morning loop, it starts right now.
Good morning, nation. Quick check. Who woke up today thinking they finally understood women?
If your hand went up, put it down. That's how male disasters get funded.
I thought calm was safe. Don't yell. Don't panic. Don't make weird chair noises.
Nation, be honest. Except for you, Dwayne. How many men use calm as a hiding place?
See, that question needs paperwork. Now my calm has witnesses and a court date.
Brianna's breaking that down later. Morning loop starts now, before Preston testifies against himself.
The whole world watched his little brother die on the front page. Saturday Night Live's Tommy Boy gone at 33. Chris Farley, his brother, Tom Farley, joining us on the show here today. For 20 years, our guest carried that story onto stages. Today's show, Larry King, is going to talk about Chris's addiction while quietly running from his own I Am Eager to have a conversation today about Tom Farley, and with Tom Farley coming up at the bottom of the hour, from burying his hero to 25 years of recovery. Tom Farley this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. I see Johnny coming here in the distance. He'll be here in a few moments. You guys see him in the warm-up this morning. Jon Andersen kicked it off here. And hey, guys, you know how I see him there. Oh, Jimmy, I see he's arriving. I saw him working out this morning. Jimmy, let's bring the dog in himself. An 87 Mustang 5-liter.
What is up with all these old tired fucking cars, man?
Dude,
Jesus
I'll tell you, so it's funny, man. So there was a point when I was growing up, I swear every dude in my kind of like my circle, Johnny, growing up, had a fucking Mustang 5-liter. Wasn't there a period of society there where it was like the car? Remember, like it was like the 5. It was like, oh my god, the Mustang 5-liter is like everywhere. Am I wrong? Did you not experience that too? Seriously?
It was kind of like the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
You couldn't escape it. Exactly why I don't like it.
You fucker. How are you this morning, brother? Hey, Tom Farley's coming in today, Chris's brother. Man, it's been almost 30 years since Chris Farley passed away, dude. I didn't think it's that long.
God damn. What year did he go?
Yeah, 97. Yeah, Sullivan. 1997, he passed away.
Wow.
I know.
Right at the fucking peak of his shit, too.
He was. Yeah. So we got Tom Farley joining us today. Looking forward to that conversation. How are you, brother? How was your last 24 hours?
Is Tom an older or a younger brother?
I'm suspecting that he's the older brother, is what I'm suspecting.
Yeah, I was going to suspect the same thing. Usually it's the younger brother. It's a wild motherfucker.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's actually interesting you say this. You got myself, you got my brother, and you got my sister. Yeah, I would say my brother. Well, I had a wild streak in me too. My younger brother still likes to get after it. Still, he's going to turn 50 here in a couple. No, he actually turned 50, but he gets after it all the time. Still, he's always getting after it. I'm like, dude, you got to stop getting after it, man.
Well, define getting after it.
Well, making. I love you, brother. Just making choices that we necessarily don't attune to on the show. Like perhaps not living the lifestyle that we live.
So you're being very kind when you say because getting after it in our world is like a compliment.
Yeah, no, I like. Yeah, no, my brother gets after it in a different way. He enjoys life. He enjoys to have his drinks with his buddies. Enjoys the
choices. There's nothing wrong with that.
100%. That's why I have no judgment, man. We just different choice in life, right? And he loves hanging out with his buddies and loves his pop, loves to have a drink, loves to tip back some wings and enjoys it, but. Incredible family man, incredible husband and father. I just like to joke with my brother. That's all. Yeah. You know how it goes. How are you? How was your 24? 22, I should say.
It was good. Terry went on her first flight yesterday.
Oh,
which she didn't really know what to expect. She didn't know she was just going to be. She literally was up in the air. Flew her first hour yesterday.
Literally, with her co-pilot, obviously, but she was doing it. Yeah,
they take off and they land, but then once they get up, she described it to me, so I'm reading between the lines. But once they get up high enough where, if the student fucks up, the pilot can recover, then they just say, "Here, take the wheels."
Oh yeah, it's high enough. Yeah.
I mean, no matter what happens, a good pilot's going to be able to recover because he can also take this. He can take it from her at any time.
Yes. Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty. So that did she have any like fears or nerves? Did you at all, or was it just kind of, or was it very much did you feel very nonchalant about the whole thing?
I don't really. Her fear meter.
Yeah,
is way stronger than mine.
Yes.
That's why if she's going to be flying me around, like for example, if I was going to fly, she'd be fucking nervous.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm more of a risk taker. She's not. So
okay. Yeah.
She was pretty freaked out. She was like, fuck, she goes, I love this, but this is going to be a stretch. I'm going to have to overcome, because yesterday was pretty, I guess it was pretty turbulent. And they hit a lot of, what do they call the fucking things when the hot air comes up? There's an air pocket. Either way,
the jet stream, whatever it is. No, they weren't that high up. No,
it's something. It's where hot air is coming up. Like it comes from comes off of golf courses. There's certain things that she was recognizing. Anyway, there were a lot of those things, and it was fucking bouncing them around.
Oh yeah.
So she said the turbulence was brutal, but it was just the day. I was like, honey, just remember, we're going to be fair weather fucking flyers. If it's windy like this, we're not going to the fucking plane. We're going to the goddamn car.
So I'm curious. So did she spend some time? So I'm making some assumptions here. I'm assuming she has already spent some time like in a simulator or practicing or doing like studying, testing. No, like first day in the plane.
I mean, this is all a fucking. I mean, I think she thought what you thought.
Yes.
She's like, she called me. She's like, fuck, honey, I flew today. Yeah. So it looks like I told her, I said, okay, well, let's get a couple more flights under your belt and make sure this is what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Or I start fucking shopping for a goddamn plane.
Yeah.
But it's actually interesting because her flight instructor, from the research that we did, we actually got some interesting information, a little different from her instructor. So because a certain type of plane, it's a Cessna 172, is like a starter plane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the instructor was saying that, it's a starter plane, but it's at the same time, the one we like a little better is called a Piper Cherokee.
Yes. Yes.
It's because the wing, the feet come up, the wheels come up. So to smooth the ride, it's quieter.
Yeah.
But it was, from what we learned, in our general research was that's not a good starter plane.
Oh.
And he's like, you're getting the general information. He goes, it's definitely harder to take off and land because it's a low, the wings are on the bottom. So yes. But when you're up, when you're cruising, it's way better. So it's like, pick what's better. Which side of the fence you're going to pick. Yeah. Yeah. If you learn to land and take off smoothly, then it's a couple of minutes of your flight versus 4 fucking hours of dealing with a less comfortable ride.
Dude, what a cool conversation you guys are fucking. So little did we know when we met that at some point in our journey, your wife is going to be a pilot, and we're talking about buying airplanes. I love it, man. So I grew up just down the road from a small municipal airport, watching Cessnas and Pipers nonstop, Johnny, like just nonstop flying. So as you're talking about these planes, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen them all. My parents, I my entire life grew up from across the field of watching airplanes take off and land. So I'm just imagining Terry doing her thing in her Cessna. That's fun, man. That's good for her, dude. That's fucking so cool.
Yeah, she was. I mean, and I think right now it's important. She's in that. I mean, she's been in that ever since the kids were gone. Yeah. She's been struggling with the fucking empty nest syndrome.
Yeah. This gives a little purpose, maybe, eh?
Yeah, because it's like, she has things that, like she's, member of the Monroe Institute, her instructor coming to visit us. And so but it's at the same time, I think it's not. I say this it's not enough juice, if you will. Yes. Their exhilaration is maybe not there as to where like creating a company for me does that for me. She doesn't have that. So when she was talking about, I'm going to have to stretch, that's her, feeling challenged.
You know what, Andersen, you're raising a good topic, man. Like this idea of empty nester, right? We got Briana Bass obviously joining us today. We're going to talk narcissism and the calm of a husband or a wife. But you raise an interesting point because I observe Lauren as a mom, and I observe, her with her Brookie and the kids, and I'm just thinking out loud right now that I suspect we might have a similar situation in the future because she gets so much joy out of the kids that don't take this concern as like a negative concern, but just like a wonderment. Like when that changes, is she gonna,
it can be a little negative at first.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Terry point blank, at one point about a year in, she's like, I'm fucking depressed.
I believe that.
And
I do.
It was like she was, trying not to let it, spill over into us. But that's pretty fucking difficult not to.
Well, yeah, because it's sadness, right? Johnny, I can see that because I can even see because obviously, we have, my kids live with their mom and Brookie's here half time, but I can see when Brookie's not here, Like we yearn. Lauren yearns. We yearn. And I can see that comment like Terry saying to you, I'm depressed. I can absolutely see that, man. Seriously, 100%.
Yeah, and I think it's because, I mean, she was really kind of a stay-at-home mom. I mean, she did work, but it was basically a choice, just so that she thinks she liked to do.
When she's close to your girls. No, that's my assumption.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, she didn't really have, her profession was really intertwined between, because she really was, she's obviously in the fitness industry, but that it wasn't something that she'd been in a long time, but it wasn't like she buried herself in it because, being a mom was always the number one priority.
Yes, and I can see the same thing with Lauren, John, where like yourself, you can find an interest in growing another business. Me the same, but yet maybe it's a female thing, a mom. The pride of being a mom, right? And I can. So thanks for sharing that because I'm anticipating maybe some of those same things. Frankly, I really am, and the whole idea.
The problem is that over the years, there's been all these different things that have been of interest.
Yes,
they're fucking expensive.
Yeah,
much like a fucking kid with a nice toy.
Yes.
At some point, the fucking shine of that toy fucking wears off, and they start looking for something new. Although this one I think is different because this is something that, well, I hope it's different. But it's because it's something that it'll be like also a form of transportation. So it'll be something that we'll often use, and it'll bring a different element to our life, which is different too,
100%. 100%.
Like the Monroe Institute, these fucking things are not fucking cheap. You're there for fucking 10 days. And anyway, and she learns a lot and she does great with it. But at the same time, it's not like a day. I guess it's just one little thing over here. It's like her personal development. But then this plane thing brings it covers a lot of different, checks a bunch of different boxes, if you will.
Hey, honey, can we adopt a kid? It might be cheaper than the plane or Monroe incident or the Monroe Institute.
Incident.
The incident, yeah. Speaking of incidents, we're talking mums and kids. Jimmy just threw something on the screen here for me. Jimmy, run this clip, man, and Keith and John will talk over it. Dude, watch this, man. This is crazy.
A mom ran from state police at 80 with her 3-year-old in the back seat. With the baby in the car, troopers used a PIT maneuver on Thalia's Dodge Charger doing 80 in a 55. It flipped. Her 3-year-old climbed out unharmed. Suspended license, felony child endangerment. That boy is here by miracle, not by her choices. She chose the run. The kid had no say.
This is crazy, man. There's a high-speed chase. Fuck. So, Jimmy, if you're running back, man, the car rolls.
There he is.
The kid walks out of the car.
Well, dude, kids are fucking resilient, man.
Oh, the kid probably rolled. So, Jimmy, run that. If you can run that back, Jimmy, we'll watch that clip there. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, look, watch. Look. And sure enough, rolls over, and then they're.
So it wasn't. They weren't going 80 when that happened, though.
No, you're right. They would, because it didn't roll.
That was a one roller.
Yes,
that was the kid basically falling on his head. He fell off the bed, landed on his head.
Yeah. Well said, actually. Well said.
But, dude, I'm telling you, kids. So it was my Jesus Christ. I was in my teens.
Yeah.
And it was back when it was in high school.
Yeah.
Early high school, and this house we lived on the river had the living room there was a loft above the living room.
Yeah.
And it was fucking huge. The loft was probably easy 13, 14 feet up because it was a really big room.
Okay. Yeah.
One of my nephews, basically, I don't know who, it was my niece was supposed to be watching him. Obviously, she wasn't quite old enough to keep the attention span there. He climbed up these fucking steps, went up on this loft and fucking fell through.
What?
Fell through the fucking, the goddamn railing.
Jeez,
so we obviously had more fucking slats on that railing immediately. But dude, this little guy, I swear to God, I was sitting there on the phone.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing this fucking weird sound, and I looked up, and it was literally him fucking falling. He was like, he basically was going through it. He caught, what I heard was he went through, but somehow with his hand, he caught himself and was like fucking hanging by one hand from this fucking railing. And it was just a split second because I look up and I kind of see him fall into place. And I'm like, I remember dropping the fucking phone and I'm going, and he just goes, boom. He lands right on his belly, dude. Listen, he bounced an easy 18 inches up in the air.
And then just gets up. Kids, man, I'm telling you.
And there was nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They just get up. Just get up and do their thing. Speaking of getting up, Tom Farley, Chris Farley's brother from Bering, is here to 25 years of recovery. Tom's going to join us in a few minutes. I see him there in the green room, eager to have a great conversation with Tom Farley coming up in a few moments. Johnny, got a few things for us this morning.
Hey, before we get him here, I got to take a piss this morning.
Yeah, you do that. I got a couple things for you. First of all,
I'll go when we're transitioning.
Yeah. I got a couple things for you. Hey, so remember the guy that found the glove? Yeah, the glove, the big glove that we grew up with. There's a one glove that it didn't fit the guy's hand, and then he got
OJ.
Yeah, well, the guy who found it, look, you knew it too. You knew it's like you just.
I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about the fucking. They found the glove from that frickin', the robbery, the jewelry robbery. Or
oh yeah, it's funny
because when you said wouldn't fit, everybody fucking knows that.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, the guy who found the glove, he died yesterday. Mark Furman, 74. And again, I'm not here to celebrate. Just this is a show for Gen X men and women and our generation. We grew. That name was part of culture for such a long time. Like, I mean, forever.
He was a police officer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. LAP detective. Yeah, he's the guy who found the glove. And I remember when he was diagnosed with throat cancer, but passed yesterday at 74 years old. So, yeah, that's a name of infamy that will last forever. Speaking of names, so Johnny, I had to put this one on the table too, man, because you know how much I love the storytelling of this sports entertainment thing. Well, hey, I guess I was wrong. I said 2 months ago he retired. Well, he's back. Brock Lesnar returned last night, and he's not retired. Jimmy, I think you got a clip here, Jimmy. Let's run this clip, man.
Brock left his boots in the ring, filed the papers, then walked back in like nothing happened. Man said retirement and meant vacation. Brock lost to Oba at WrestleMania, retired, then came back on Raw and destroyed him. How many men over 30 retire their goals the same way? Leave the boots, walk away, call it done. Most of them never come back. The real question is whether you're done or just scared to go again. Lace the boots back up. We're getting into it.
I love that because it's this idea of building, and it's just good storytelling. So I thought it was pretty cool, man, that we got that happen. Speaking of, it was also pretty cool. Did you know this? In Hawaii, there's no shadow. Lahaina noon. I've never heard of this before. Jimmy, you got a clip for us?
I was in Lahaina.
Hawaii just broke physics and the internet is losing its mind. Things are literally floating out there. No wires, no tricks, no shadows at all. It's called Lahaina noon. Twice a year, the sun sits perfectly overhead and every shadow in Hawaii vanishes. Nature been running special effects for millions of years. We just finally caught it on camera.
You know about this? Have you heard about this before? Look at this.
No.
Yeah, just the way the sun shows up, like on the planet. There's just actually no shadows, which is kind of neat. So I'm a photographer guy, so I take interest in this, but zero shadow because of the way the sun's overlooking Lahaina right now. You said you were in Lahaina, eh? You've been there.
Yeah, it was. Remember there was what was it that fire went through there?
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went over there shortly after the fire, with the idea of helping a little bit, and
yes.
And so it was crazy. It was actually pretty cool because there was so few people there.
Oh yeah.
We spent a week over there.
Interesting. Coming up, Tom Farley, we're going to bring him in a couple minutes, in about 2 minutes here. But before we do that, before we let Johnny go for a quick piss here, hey, Jimmy, I got some words of wisdom for the community. Stop making your kids happy. The parenting shift that actually builds some resilience. Guys, your job as a parent is not to make your kids happy. Jimmy, let's run this quick clip.
Make our kid happy. That is so important. And so countercultural.
Why is our job not to make our kids happy?
Because when we focus on making our kids happy, we actually start to make them fearful and less tolerant of all of the other emotions that will inevitably be part of their life into adulthood.
Good morning, Holroyd.
So when our kid says, I'm gonna make this up, like, the only one in my class who can't read. It's like the most painful moment as a parent. Oh, I feel my kid's pain, right? And maybe, let's just say it's true. They really might be. We have the urge to say, everyone reads at their own pace, or, but you're amazing at soccer, but you're so good at math. I want to make them happy. All that does for my kid is because during childhood, kids are not just.
So Johnny, the point of this clip was just she was talking about. So we live in a society now where there's so many parents that are trying to make our kids happy nonstop, right? And
backwards, so backwards. It's the biggest service on the fucking planet.
I'm with you.
You know, I had it. My middle daughter.
Yeah,
she spent a lot of time with her mom when I was traveling.
Yes.
So when I was back and more like when I was done wrestling, I was home more. So she came to live with us.
Yes.
And basically we had that moment, just like this lady said, where I'm in there looking at her with her homework, and she just fucking looks at me, starts fucking crying, "Daddy, I can't read."
Yeah.
She was supposed to be able to read at that age, but her mom had been fucking doing her homework for her.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so I was like, "Hey, kid, listen. Number one, don't sweat it. I was the same way. We're going to work on it together. We'll get you up to speed." But it wasn't a shift of, "Oh, you're good at this, so don't worry about that." Fucking shut the fuck up. But, I came from a totally polar opposite position of that. I mean, I told my kids, "Look, my job is to put you under pressure enough that will develop your character, not break it."
Yeah.
So understand, when I put you in these positions, it's because this is how you develop.
Yep. That's exactly it. I watch. So yeah, I watch and observe generations around us that parent the happy kids. And I'm like, dude, you're not setting your kids up for success in life, because that's not how the real world works at all, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up, the whole world watched his little brother die. On the front page, Saturday Night Live's Tommy Boy, gone at 33. Man, 1997, we lost a legend, Chris Farley. For 20 years, our guest, he carried that story onto stages, on the Today Show, on Larry King Live, talking about Chris's addiction while quietly running from his own. I'm really excited, honored, and super grateful, Johnny, I know you are as well, to be joined this morning by Chris Farley. Sophia, Grant, let's set the conversation up right now. Chris Farley, Tom.
You know the act, the funny one, the successful one, the I'm fine guy everybody believes. You make people laugh, you handle the room, then you go home with the thing nobody sees. That's where this story starts. Not with fame, with the cost of being believable when you're not okay. Tom knows that cost. In his family, laughter handled stress, joy, pain, anger, and almost everything in between.
His little brother was a well-known comedian. To the world, his brother was Saturday Night Live, Tommy Boy, and pure electricity.
To Tom, he was his brother. Then Chris died at 33, and private grief became a public story.
Tom did what older brothers do. He carried the story. He protected the memory. He kept showing up.
Before all of that, he started in banking and finance. After Chris died, the mission changed.
He built the Chris Farley Foundation, using humor to open hard conversations before silence could do more damage. He also co-wrote The Chris Farley Show, helping people see the brother behind the performance.
For more than 25 years, Tom spoke about addiction, prevention, and recovery on national stages and major broadcasts. But the harder turn came later. The older brother, the speaker, the okay one, had to get honest too. Now his message is simple, and it's earned. Treatment can open the door. Healing does not happen alone.
Tom, welcome to the lab. We're honored to sit with this story today.
Sophia Grant, thank you very much this morning. We got a guest who's joining us. The one day the older brother had to do for himself what nobody could do for Chris. The man, Tom Farley, joining myself and Jon Andersen this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. What's shaking, Tom?
Well. Good morning. I'm up now. This is gonna be fun. You know,
you didn't know what you were getting into, did you, bro? You had no idea what you were getting into.
And I'm glad I had to sit in the green room watching for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm good.
So I'll tell you. So Tom, you and I grew up with this. I'm gonna pause a second. So what you are a part of is essentially what I grew up with that I think the world doesn't have anymore. It's a show for Gen X, for Gen Men like you and I. It's rooted in everything we grew up with. It's rooted in Chris, Saturday Night Live, Howard Stern, a bunch of the old stuff, Letterman, Will Ferrell, all the craziness brought to 2026. A little bit of AI bullshit, Tom.
That's the first thing I noticed is like AI really is making me look good these days. So I'm loving it. Yeah, this is like I've never looked better. So thank you. The only thing I'm really missing out is I really only have one vice left, and that's my cigars. And I'm looking at John's with a cigar. I'm like, I don't need coffee. That's what I need.
So Tom, let's set it up, brother. Where are you joining me from today? You joining from California?
No, I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, where we at the home base.
Oh, wow.
We all grew up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. I'm really, really grateful for our conversation here today. So let's get into it. So this whole conversation, it can't be about Chris. Let's get into this one. Let's go into the brutal moment in your story where the family could make addiction Chris's problem because he was the loudest, but perhaps it's the family problem, Tom Farley.
Oh, absolutely. The thing is, like, we grew up, we're Irish, and we lived in Wisconsin. So, drinking in those environments is so normative,
Yes.
So we just thought, like, this is what everyone does. And, then I kind of went out east, to school and to live after college. I didn't think I stuck out, but I'm being told now that, yes, I absolutely did stuck out with my drinking. But when I would come home, and as Chris was, his career was taking off, but so was his addiction. And my family didn't know, they knew how to handle the celebrity much better, because that was just it. The beautiful thing about that was as famous as Chris got, to us, he was still just Chris.
Yes.
So that didn't change us at all. But when the addiction started to ramp up, that's when we closed, like, hey, that's not, we're all funny. He's just a little bit more funny than us. But like when it was like, he's got an addiction, but so do we, we separated. We're like, no. So, and we get into this whole kind of, we need to help Chris, but we don't want to be honest about our own.
Oh, yes, your own mirrors. So Johnny can relate, Tom. So John has been on his own battle of addiction, and he talks about it openly on the show here. John, let's jump into it, man. The idea of a family and just addiction itself. Jon Andersen.
Yeah, with in my situation, obviously, I had Terry and my kids. There wasn't really I was the leader of the household when I was in that position, not the other way around. So, it was a little bit of a different dynamic. But if I had, a younger sibling or something like that needed help, with addiction, that's, I don't know, think of it's what's harder, having to, pull up a chair and be honest with the person you love that they need fucking help, or cure yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, totally. it was, I'm trying to think of, like, I had one conversation with my mom about it. And it was actually me bringing it to her, because I knew she knew what was going on. I had just finished with a back surgery, and I'd been in a lot of pain, and she'd seen me, using the meds to get to the surgery. So she's no dummy. And so I remember I knew she was worried, and I thought to myself, I'm having a hard time kicking it this time. So I'm going to bring it to her attention, and I'm going to put myself on Front Street with her, because she's, mama's boy to the core. And so I told her, but hey, this is going on, and this is what I planned. She goes, "Are you going to be okay?" And I said, I think so. I said, but the bottom line is, I'm telling you, I'm going to do this, which makes it even more real for me. And that was kind of like the one time I had a conversation about my addiction with a parent was right there. But it was making it real is what making it real to her is what made it easier for me to actually fucking get off that. Because at that point that was Oxycontin, which is the nastiest in the group.
Tom, so when Chris passed, Was that eye-opening moment for yourself and your family to say, holy shit, this is we were looking over this the whole time?
Well, John said something that, really, important is he probably used the word communication about 5 times, and we didn't know how to do that. We didn't. Our only mode of communication was humor. It was our coping mechanism. It was how we bonded, and we didn't develop any other emotions beyond that. We didn't get any deeper than that. That just kept us in a safe place. So, granted, we got really good at it. The humor thing, it became a family kind of cottage industry, but
hence his career.
yeah. Unfortunately, you're talking to the least funniest of the Farley family right now. But,
Tom and John, but what's striking about what you just said, I got goosebumps. We can list some of the most amazing, funny people on the planet. We hide behind humor. What you said, Tom, when there's Richard, let's name them. Pryor, like how many times we didn't want to talk about the tough shit because it was easier to laugh about it, especially our generation, Tom.
Oh, totally. And what's really interesting is my brothers all, learned comedy through Second City in Chicago in improv, and this concept of the ensemble, where you're all together and everyone brings their own strengths and weaknesses and everyone matters. And your first ensemble is your family. And we didn't act like that. We didn't act like, whatever. You should be able to bring the best ensembles are the ones where you allow everyone to come in with all their otherness, all their weirdness. And that's what makes the ensemble better. But we were trying to create this image to the world, like this is the Farleys. We're the Farleys, and and unfortunately, when somebody doesn't meet that, that look and feel, they're written out of the family, narrative.
Well, another thing too that I have to imagine, like when looking at your brother or looking at some of these other guys that were so good at what they did with comedy or whatever it is. I can put myself, I can relate, because when I was in when I was wrestling, when I was addicted to these pills, in my mind, I was better. I wasn't. I can only imagine you think, I got to be really funny now. I better get extra fucked up.
Yes,
I mean, as to where. I can remember multiple times getting off a fucking plane, getting in, in Tokyo, knowing I had to give a press conference the next morning. And I wasn't thinking about getting a good night's sleep. I was making sure I had the fucking cocktail of pills I needed for the morning to make sure I was loosened up to go stand in front of the fucking press.
Well, and then John and Tom, and I got to imagine, and Tom brought up the word of ensemble. So John, when you were wrestling, there's like an ensemble there, and then the comedy. So. To Tom's point, we all got to be better. So if I'm struggling, I got to get some pills from Johnny. And if I'm going to go to the comedy night with Tom and I'm having a rough night, hey Tom, can I get a drink? Tom gives me a drink. It loosens me up. And
when you think a substance is a performance enhancer, it's real fucking easy to justify doing it.
Well, totally.
When that's what you do.
Here's the way I look at it. For me, and I obviously was true for Chris, is that we could be in the middle of a room or a bar, if I'm honest, in the middle of a bar, surrounded by people, center of attention, making everyone laugh, and not feel more like we're standing on the surface of the moon. It's like I'm giving everyone what they want of me, who they think I should be, and I'm getting connection, but this hollow feeling because they don't see me, they don't know me. And the only way I knew how to deal with that was to numb it, to drown it, to drink. And that's what we do. We like, if this is what the world wants of me, I'll give it. But it's not me. Why is no one seeing me?
That in itself is an entirely different conversation. Because I always say on this show, I welcome people to judge the book by its cover. Come judge Keith, come judge John, and then grab a headline and be offended by it. come spend some actual time with us and get to know who we are as people, right? Because we're going to offend you. I guarantee you along the way with something we say, but we talk for 10 fucking 20 hours a week. You get to know us as humans outside of the sunglasses and the hats, and you can see who. And so I hear your point, right? When you're on stage, you're something what the audience wants you to be.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I love it. You know, it's kind of the same thing, but I want people to judge the book by its cover, so they and then show them something completely different and have them go, whoa, I didn't see that at all. I'm like, yeah, you didn't. You're just looking at the cover.
Yeah. We're hanging out with Tom Farley this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, Jon, and friends. And guys, so Tom, you weren't expecting this.
Well, but real quick, I want just on that level. I just want to say, you know, when you get really fucking good at something, you know, a lot of times it gets really fucking lonely.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so, you know, that's another driver too, is it's like, you know, that when you get really good at something, that's who you're expected to be. You can go and what, just following your train of thought, you be that person, but you're kind of on an island being that person.
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally. For me, like I can't even go through, you know, an airport without a smile. Like I gotta have a smile. I gotta be Mr. Person, because I'm always afraid of, like, people are like, that's Chris Farley's brother? No way, that guy's a jerk. I'm like, and I can't be the jerk. If I want to be a jerk, like, I can't, because I gotta be somebody's brother.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, he's not, no way. Or he's smart. That's not Chris's brother. I'm like, well, Chris is pretty smart too.
So Tom, let's talk about that. You brought it up. There must have been, I suspect there has been a time in your life where it's like, fuck that, I'm Tom Farley. Yes, I'm Chris' brother, but I'm Tom. I'm not Chris. I don't want, you know, and I got to think there's been a point in your life where you try to separate yourself from that.
Oh, well, thanks for recovery gave me that, the tools to do that. You know, before, all these years I was, you know, doing a lot of good work, you know, with the Chris Farley Foundation and writing the book, but telling somebody else's story.
Yeah.
It was somebody else's addiction.
Yes.
You know, and great. When I started to share and be vulnerable and be rigorously honest and humble and grateful myself.
Yes.
All of a sudden I got the connection I was always trying so hard to find, and now I'm just trying to be my authentic self, and like, where do those people come from? You know, it's because I'm not a threat anymore. I was trying to be this person the world wanted me to be, but in order to do that, I had to control everyone else. My family had to be a certain way. My employers had to give me that job, not the one I have. You know, you don't understand what I have to be.
Yeah.
And you know, it just what a gift it was. Chris is still part of that story and still part of my life, but I'm no longer. I used to joke. I used to, you know, introduced as, this is Tom Farley, brother of Chris Farley, who died of drug overdose. That was my full name. Now I just get to be Tom.
Yeah, just Tom. You're hanging out with Just Gets to Be Tom. Tom Farley, myself, and Jon Andersen this morning on Mornings Live with Keith, Jon, and friends. Johnny, you know, so Tom didn't know this. He didn't know what he was getting into this morning, and I found some video of Tom driving yesterday in Madison, Wisconsin. Tom, I got to tell you, man, I like to have fun with my guests. Tom, so listen, Tom, when you're driving, you're supposed to go down the one lane, not in and out of traffic, Tom. So listen, when you're driving, so you don't go in and out of the cones, Tom. Is that how everybody in Madison drives, Tom? Like, you don't go.
No. Well, as I said, I lived 17 years in New York, so I brought my New York driving with me back to my home state. So I have an excuse.
I was wondering, I'm thinking, is Tom going to get here today because he's taking his time driving through the pylons in Madison, Wisconsin?
It was a good song. It was a good song.
Hey, Tom, recovery.com's positioning. What a name, by the way. Recovery.com's positioning is built around no hotline or referral fees. People connect directly to the facility, not through a call center. So why does that matter in an industry where families already feel confused, vulnerable, and maybe a little hunted? They can directly connect to recovery.com. Tom.
Well, not only that, but so anyway, more and more people are going to the internet to seek help.
Yes.
And it's a dark place.
Yes.
Who knew? The internet's a scary place. So But we wanted to break down that barrier, and a lot of people coming into treatment and recovery are told to. They're pushed into treatment. They're told by a doctor, family, whatever, and they say, "Oh, okay," But it's mostly to make somebody happy or not lose a job. So recovery.com with all not just matches you up to what you need, but also gives you like own this problem. Get some agency and say like, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I want to, and you won't have hopefully the relapses that happen all the time. But referrals, finding treatment usually based on who's got an open bed and what network insurance are you in and what's your insurance situation, which is a horrible way to find the treatment that you need, because it's unique to everyone. It's got a different journey.
Yeah. Tom's hanging out with myself and John this morning on Mornings Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, Tom, what would you say to a man right now who's taken his whole life and used humor to get through everything?
Humor is, it's such a great emotion, to manage your emotions, to connect with people. But, if that's all you do, and that's, as I said, that's what we did. Like in my family, if somebody was, stressed out or angry, we laughed, or if they fell and hurt themselves, we laughed, because not to be mean, we just didn't like their pain. So we thought our humor could, get them out of the, just kind of ease that and ease our pain, really. And it's not a connection, you're just trying to, soothe the bad feelings. But, we're human, and that bad feelings kind of comes with the, we come out of the box with that. So, we need to, what I say is like vulnerability is hard, but then it's not. It's hard at first and a little painful, but then all of a sudden you realize you're not alone, and other people feel the same way. And, so you don't get that out of humor.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like there's a great quote from Maya Angelou that said once that only equals laugh together. If it's unbalanced, if you're laughing at yourself or you're laughing at somebody else, that's not real humor. Only two people that are truly equal laughing together. And the beautiful thing about that is when that happens, the door opens to joy.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. It's interesting to hear you say that, because that's also a contradiction to the ensemble comment you made too. And you can see how that gets into that, you create a group of people and you start feeding each other.
It's all positive, all building, it's not, it's all that yes and kind of, and if everyone is contributing to 100%, that's got to be applauded. But if you just, I always contrast that with teams, which are everyone's got a role, everyone's got a purpose, but the best teams are the ones that built the ensemble first, right? I mean, just think of that. Like an army, everyone has a role.
Yes,
but it's an ensemble. It's such connection. Building that, wrestling is probably the same way. Everyone's got a role, but behind the scenes, there's just such a bond. Such a, and if you just think in terms of teams, then it's easy to just kind of evaluate people by talent alone.
Hey, John, a question for both of you guys, actually. Johnny, what do you think what's the biggest misunderstanding about recovery for folks? Like, do you think for a normal guy like myself who hasn't been in your situation, John, what do you think it would be my biggest misunderstanding about recovery? Is that a fair question?
I mean, when it comes down to it, I honestly, I don't really know how to answer that.
Yeah.
2 reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, because when I was able to get myself out of a few jams with these heavy fucking narcotics.
Yes.
With I've stepped away from 2 of the big boys. In terms of Oxycontin being one. There's no painkiller more powerful.
Oh, I know. And you talk about
I was on that shit they had to step me down so I wouldn't have a fucking seizure. I was taking so much of this shit. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I've always been able to do it myself when, like, most of the time, like, you need help with this. But that to me is my trigger. I'm not like everyone else.
Oh, yeah.
So I hang on that. I'm not so weak that I need to go check myself in. I will put how many times I put myself in my fucking bedroom. I told Terry, look, I'm not coming out for a couple of days. I'm going to go suffer and fucking get past the worst part of this and just fucking deal with it. Just start chewing on the fucking shit sandwiches that I'd created for myself. So I don't know how to answer that question in terms of the average of the norm, because I never put myself in that position. But I will say this, whether it's me or anybody else, if you don't fucking admit to yourself that you've got the fucking problem, the whole process is never going to start.
Well, that's one thing. So Tom, so Tom, Jon was a guest on my show a couple years back, and now we hang out and we're partners in growing this thing. But I told
him, I said, you really need some entertainment on this show. Jesus Christ. I said, what are you doing by yourself here? You see, my man here even picked that out. I didn't even have to finish my sentence.
but Tom, I've been really struck.
Saw that right away.
Hold on a second. Jimmy, put Tom back in that car again, driving through the fucking driving through the pylon.
He's an honest man. Come on.
But Tom, I'll tell you, I've been really struck by Jon's honesty about his struggles going through that addiction. But most importantly, Tom, his self-ownership of it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like, that rigorous honesty.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, my career, I was a marketing guy, PR guy, and I was Irish. So I knew the gray areas of honesty.
Yes.
But like rigorous, and especially when it's pointed inward at yourself, like, is that truly thing? And the thing is about recovery is, like, everyone always thinks of substance use. And to me, it's the mental health behind it. It's just, for me, even though I was your garden variety Irish drunk, and that's why that brought me into recovery, but like, I needed the clarity of sobriety to work on all these other things to be a better human.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what recovery to me is. Not sobriety or, just being, substance free. It's really, how are you being a better human? How are you connecting with people?
Tom, who's alive in your family, if I may ask that question? Are your parents, who's left? Are mom and dad around?
Who's alive? Oh, let me get the scorecard here. It's mom's still alive.
Yeah.
My sister is still alive. Mom's still alive and slinging trauma like a champ. So she's awesome. And then my two brothers, Kevin and John. So do you guys sometimes reflect on what would have happened had Chris not passed? And what I mean by that, Tom, is like, that was a wake-up call for you and your family. If Chris doesn't pass, is Tom going down a different path, or some of the family? I can see maybe the uncomfortable. Yeah. Was it inevitable? Like, first of all, like, one of the first things I realized, when Chris died, was that I needed to talk about it, which is a very un-Irish, very un-Midwestern kind of thing. We bury those emotions. So I'm like, I need to talk about it. And for whatever reason, and I started to heal. And even all these years later, I look at some of my family members that, haven't done that, to that extent. And I can see them carrying a lot of pain still. And I feel bad about that, but this is how I heal. I need to talk about it, and not just, Chris, but myself too. And that honest, giving myself that same honesty. But also as I give myself the grace that I give myself of forgiveness, not judging, I'm able to give that to Chris too. And I'm able to separate this brother with an addiction from this brother that I loved. And I get to that relationship continues to grow to this day. I have a better relationship with Chris now than I ever did when we were alive, mostly because we had to share a bedroom, and that was horrible. But yeah, I have to separate those two because those are different emotions. I'd rather the positive emotions stay here, and any regret or anger or sadness I have with the your brother with an addiction, I can deal with that too, because it comes with, forgiveness and, lack of judgment and all that.
Yeah, yeah. We're hanging out, wrapping up with Tom Farr this morning, myself and Jon Andersen on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We got Briana Bass hanging out, waiting for us in the green room there. We're going to come back and get into the conversation with why she hates you, the narcissist, avoidant husband who won't have conversations with his wife. Tom, before we wrap up with you, brother, final things to say to our audience, recovery.com, closing comments, and Johnny, some closing comments from Tom.
Like I said about recovery, it's just, as I said, it's hard at first, but you couldn't have told me I would have a life like this, in recovery. And, because you don't believe it, because your mind goes, I know what my life's going to be like 10 years from now. You don't. And what I found in recovery is that I'm finding every second of the day through gratitude or whatever it is, my life is getting better. And it was never getting better before. It had ups and downs, but at best it was flatlined. But now I'm seeing, evidence of maybe sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big, but it's definitely getting better. That's recovery, and that's a gift.
I was going to say, but you're going back to your statement earlier about recovery. It's like, I think, what is recovery? It's getting better every day.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah,
somehow,
exactly.
Because you're getting better, you're getting worse, and if you're getting worse, you're falling back to your old traps.
Yeah, 100%.
Your vices are getting closer if you're not getting better.
Yeah. Tom, on behalf of the whole crew here, I'm really grateful for your time this morning, spending some time with myself and John on the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hopefully you'll tune into the comments. Hopefully you'll feel comfortable to come back and hang out with us.
Oh, absolutely. This was fun. It's fun to get up early. No, I'm kidding.
What time do you usually get up?
I'm about 7 a.m.
Oh, good for you. Yeah,
I got up early because I was really anxious about this. I mean, not anxious, but I was excited.
Oh, good. Good.
Like your emails were very excitable, but it didn't paint a picture of what I actually got here. Like, Good. I don't know how the rest of the day's gonna go. People,
I agree. You look at this nutty little sucker, and you really don't know what to expect.
I'm like, people are gonna like, what's up with Farley today? It's like, he got a little jacked up first thing in the morning. So.
Well, Johnny, we needed to send Tom a cigar this morning. He said the one place I have left is a cigar. And he was watching you puff away there, and he's like, "Oh man, I don't have one of those."
You a cigar smoker, brother? Hell yeah!
Dude, it's the only advice I have left. Don't take that from me,
dude. Every morning, brother, 5 a.m. Boom, right here.
Yeah, that'd be so easy to do. I would love that.
Hey, Tom, from the community, you got Charlie, you got Mike, you got Dragon Master, you got Lauren, you got the whole community saying thanks for your time today, brother. We're grateful for your time. Tom Farr this morning, joining myself and Jon Andersen. All right,
thank you, Tom.
Good to see you guys.
Cool. Tom's out of here. We're gonna do a lifestyle chat. We're gonna do a lifestyle tip with Andersen and come back reset hour 2 and get into it with Briana Bass. We're gonna get into why she hates you, the calm avoidant husband, when we shut down. Johnny, let's get after, brother. Lifestyle tip right now.
All right, lifestyle tip. And remember, we've been focusing on posing questions for you guys to ask yourselves. Hopefully it will help you, I guess, understand more about yourself, which will help you with everything you do. So it's kind of multi-layered here. So the first question you got to ask yourself, and most people don't know how to answer this. If you put 1,000 people in a line and say, "Who are you?" They're going to tell you what they do. I'm a plumber. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm a stockbroker. No, that's what you do. Who are you? Different question. Most people don't know. And because of that, people end up trying to fulfill what people expect them to be or think they are. So if you don't know who you are, you're really missing a big chunk of this whole fucking drill. If you know who you are, then you can actually honor whatever that is. And it's much easier to kind of shine on the expectations of what people think you're supposed to be or how you're supposed to act, kind of taking a bite off our last guest, So the tip today is to do a little soul searching. Ask yourself the question, who am I? And remember, that answer does not have anything to do with what you do. Rock and roll.
Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Key John. Friends, we just wrapped up with Tom Farley, the brother of Chris. We talked recovery. Coming up right now, Briana Bass, why she hates your calm, the narcissistic husband who's got no emotion. You are listening to The Big Show for every generation out there, but especially the generation we call Generation X. Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show we call Mornings in the Lab. Let's get that conversation started on the deep dive. Yep. No safe words.
That calm voice you're proud of, sometimes it's not peace, it's a shutdown button. Men call it stoic, women experience it like abandonment. Then he's confused why the house is icy. You're not logical. You're refusing to engage, so she spirals, and you get to label her the problem. The calm alpha act is wild. It's like saying, I'm mature, while emotionally ghosting your wife in real time. Stonewalling can spike her nervous system. Your blank face reads like danger, not leadership. So if your calm makes her look crazy, are you actually calm or just controlling the whole fight without raising your voice?
Billis in the Canadian tuxedo this morning. Oh my goodness. Not sure what the hell you had on, but I had the Canadian tuxedo on. Good morning, Briana. How are you, kid?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, we had that 80s hair.
I see that. Absolutely. You had the 80s hair. Okay. I was excited to have this chat with you because I'm suspecting this is a common theme in your practice, which is argument happening with the husband and wife or the two partners, and the woman is being emotional and expressing herself, and the man is listening, and then shut down. And not being stoic, I can see you nodding, shut down. Briana, why do men shut down, become the avoidant husband, and we just put the wall up and we don't want to engage?
Yeah, this is so incredibly common. I think this conversation is really important today. I wish we were calling it different things though, because I feel like we lose the interest of the audience member with some of these terms because they're immediately going, that isn't me, that doesn't apply to me. When I think behind all of it, if they understood the definitions, everyone has done it. They just have. I mean, I do see this every single day. I'm the calm one as the identity armor, and it's totally wrong. The calm in and of itself is a major problem in a relationship. It is not. I
want to interrupt you. So you mean so role play. So you and I are in a relationship, and what's happening is that I'm becoming too calm, and you're like, "Fuck Billis, I want to see some emotion." As simple as that.
Yeah, it is as simple as that, right? So essentially, there's a fight, and she's escalating, let's say, or she's getting louder or more expressive, getting more upset, whatever that looks like.
Yes.
And he's calm, right? He's not raising his voice, or maybe he decides to bring it back down.
Yes.
He's not reacting. And so therefore he's being the reasonable one. He's being the adult in the room.
Yes.
He's being the one that's like between the two, right? He's the less crazy one for sure, right? And he walks away from that fight genuinely believing that he was the bigger person, the bigger man.
Yeah, trying to slow it down. Yes.
Right. And that calm, really proved something about him. And I have to teach couples that is just as toxic, if not actually more. Actually, in a personal opinion, I would say more than the one who's getting bigger and fighting for things and getting escalated and raising their voice. Both are awful, but I would actually say that one is probably worse.
This is fascinating because then what you're going, then I'm suspect where you're taking me then is that you as the therapist in between the couple wants to teach the couple, I'm just suspecting here, how to engage in an emotional state, how to communicate an emotional state while being respectful, not run away, keep it online. Because I was thinking that, okay, I want to be the good person. I want to be the one who's, see you shaking your head. I want to be the one who's taking the high road. You're like, no, you don't want to, you want to engage right now. She wants you to engage right now.
Absolutely. All you're doing by getting quote calm or misusing the term stoic, is creating an environment in which somebody live in the moment is further convinced by evidence sitting in front of them that you don't care about them, you don't care about the fight, the circumstance, and you are there to win and not to actually resolve, right? And whenever you weaponize her reactions against her, you're going, look, she's the unhinged one. I get couples that sit down and are like, yeah, listen to her go off for 20 minutes about, she's upset about XYZ, and the male will just sit there, look at me. I'm such a good boy. I'm such a good boy. And I absolutely have to crack that and say, so wait a minute, let me slow this down. What happens when she's coming to you and she's expressing something? So to get this straight, you're getting incredibly calm, incredibly reserved, checked out, responding very intermittently. So then what does she do? And every time it's the exact same thing. Well, she gets bigger. She gets more outlandish.
Yes.
She gets more angry, right? Because this person is desperate to get a response. They are desperate to not be completely alone in this argument in this attempt at resolution. Because for the fighter, that's what they think they're doing, even as they're yelling. It is still passion. It's still an attempt at being seen, heard, and understood. It is a repair attempt, believe it or not, although totally mishandled. So when you are absent in that, it's just adding incredible gas to a fire.
Good morning, JR. Jon, you strike me as somebody who, and I'm not accusing you, but you strike me as somebody who would go remarkably calm.
It's a really interesting topic, especially the way that I was explaining it, because when I was kind of learning, I mean, it's a freaking dance. I mean, you got to learn how to kind of fit in with your partner, so to speak, And so, Terry admittedly is a hothead. So she's reactive and she goes off. And so I had to find, I did, and in many cases, I've done exactly what Briana just explained.
Oh, me too.
Because I'm trying to figure if I come down, it's going to pull her down. But it has to be done in a way where she realizes that I'm here. It's not me just, I'm better than you. I don't have to raise my voice. And I played that card many times thinking that was going to do the trick. But in actuality, it was just, it was fighting from the opposite side of the equation, so it has to be more of, for me, when I do that, I'll definitely quiet down and I'll let her speak, because I know as soon as I try to interrupt when she's going off, it gets much worse. But then at the flip side is when I slow myself down, when I'm quieter, when I'm, I have to convey that I'm there. I have to convey sincerity. I have to convey that, hey, let's work this through. You do it this way, I do it this way. I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just because for me to find that right spot in terms of how loud I'm speaking, how often I'm speaking, it's fucking difficult, And so adding in some communication and saying, look, I'm taking this position so that I don't react and we don't have a full-blown fight. I don't want to raise my voice. Now we're both raising our voice. I'm just trying to recover here and gather myself so we can try to work through this. So it's not that I'm not listening. It's not that I don't care. This is me trying to gain myself a position where we can work through this. Without those words, now all of a sudden she doesn't see it the same way.
Yeah, Briana, I can relate to what Jon said, because I won't even speak in the past, not made. I make those same mistakes today. So, and I can relate to everything Jon is saying. And I sometimes, I don't know. I'll be frank and say it. I don't know, Jon, maybe like you, I don't know sometimes how to get out of it. Because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to slow it down. Do I get high? Do I get slow? And I fuck up. I fuck the whole thing up, Briana. I know I do.
Yeah, being calm is in arguments like that, and what we're describing is not calm, and it's certainly not read as calm as your partner. I mean, has your partner ever been like, wow, I'm so impressed with you. You're so calm and peaceful. No, they just get bigger, right? They're
actually the
trying
opposite.
to,
It's
yeah,
actually-
it's the exact opposite, and they're trying to evoke a reaction out of you. So now this fight that started about XYZ, the fight in and of itself has done so much more damage because you forced your partner into a state where they had to say the biggest things or take the stabs or, you know, really hit you where it hurts because they're going, he's not showing up in this. Well, let me stick the knife in and let me twist it because I know the recipe to do that. And I'm so desperate to have him show up and be present in this argument. So they end up grasping for more things and we walk away from this conflict that could have been quite small and contained, but because of your calm, right, it's now exploded into something and now we have shrapnel from it and a lot more pain and damage has occurred, right? So being calm is not that and how we're describing today. It is withdrawal, right? It is absolutely withdraw. A regulated man in conflict is still incredibly present. So men will often think they're being regulated by being calm, which we've said is not calm 1,000 times, right? And Jon said it exactly. Jon made a point that I really want to touch on, which he actually used the word, I think, superiority, right? And yes, so odds are you're staying calm to actually win the conflict.
Yeah, if they sense that, that's hammer time.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say another thing I forgot to mention in my words is I have to acknowledge. And I've acknowledged what she's saying. Then I'm just being a real asshole by doing this. You know, it's like, hey, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. Blah blah blah. I'm kind of stepping back so I don't fire back at you, so we can solve this. You know, but without that acknowledgement is probably one of the first things out of my mouth because that's what she needs to register that I'm here. She's being heard.
Right. So that's exactly right. And what we're doing when we try to, you know, win the conflict, it's by making her look like the unhinged one in comparison, right? So they're the irrational one and I'm the reasonable one. And for the woman, right, she knows that she's not, you know, deep down, she goes, I'm not crazy. You know, some of these thoughts I have, you know, they are founded in reality. I'm not insane. And she's looking in the mirror a couple of years into this and going, I've lost myself and I hate myself because she also looks back in hindsight and sees this version of her, you know, getting big and getting escalated and getting upset and slamming a cabinet door or saying mean things. And that's not who she wants to be. But I'm telling you, you are not the angel in this equation. You are very much so the fuel that is creating an environment where she has to pay to play like that in order to get some type of engagement from you. Jon is exactly right. I am not in any way suggesting that you yell back. I didn't say any of that. I wouldn't say any of that. And I don't to my couples. It is about being present. So something as simple as what he said, which is, hey, I'm going to acknowledge what we're talking about, that I hear you, etc. That all counts, right? That's this being present. So it wasn't yelling back. It wasn't matching the energy. That would probably bring her down, but it's going to make her go up if you stay calm, which is really just withdrawal, right? And women find this so particularly infuriating when they can see this in their partner because they can feel it, right? She can feel that your composure is not peace. She can feel that, right? It's superiority.
Interesting.
The calm she knows isn't you going, I love you and I want to work this out. The calm is, I am above this and you clearly are not.
Oh, hanging out with Briana Bass. Briana, we got a question from the community from JR. What's going on, JR? Good to have you on the show this morning. So JR's like, when our partner throw a bunch of furious fire at me, my choice of words, brother, I feel like I need to step back and decompress, unpack what she said to make sense of it. I might even need to go for a walk and collect my thoughts. So, Briana, would you agree with Keith and Jon going for a walk, or JR? Or is that like, to you, the partner going, what the fuck? I want to engage with you right now. Why are you walking away from me?
Yeah, don't include me in the going for the walk right there.
Briana?
Yeah, I would say that there are two things to his answer. So, and they're both yes. So everything he said is completely fine. But one, if you need, that's very common also, especially in men, where they're going like, it's common that women are more articulate and are more articulate specifically about their feelings and their experience in something, right? So she's coming at you with this stuff and you're going, oh shit, I don't even know all of the tit for tat answers here. And I don't even know the rebuttals and I don't even know how to show up in this way. My nervous system is flooded and am I going to make it worse? Right. So great. Totally common. Fair enough. So the presence would be, hey, I need some time on this, or I am hearing what you're saying. I'm listening. I'm attuned in this conversation. I'm here with you, but we'll circle back to oh God, please don't say circle back. We'll get back to this evening or tomorrow or something like that. Or he can announce, like Jon was saying, he announces that his silence right now is not withdrawal, a lack of respect, and certainly not a lack of concern. I'm here with you, but on my end, I'm just going to go quiet. I want to listen right now, but it's important to me that we resolve this. You could also announce, I'm going on a walk. So yes, everything he said is completely fine with the context provided to your partner. But the second piece I would say for him is he does need to do some inner work to know, why does he need to escape? Why does he need to go do a walk? It's okay that he does, but he needs to understand why. And he needs to teach his partner about himself. That is his responsibility, to teach her, this is how I emotionally process. This is how I show up in fights. This is when we get into conflict, what that experience is like for me. This is what the walk does for me. It's his responsibility to teach her about himself. So announce it and do some inner work, and then teach her about you, and that's okay.
Announce it and teach it. Johnny, I see you nodding there.
Well, I think the reason that I don't like I'm gonna go for a walk, it's the idea of leaving.
Yes,
because she's, if there's a connection between her blowing her top and me fucking vacating, that doesn't, for me, that doesn't show support. If I'm flip side, if I lost my shit and she wants to leave, that doesn't make it better for me. If anything, it makes me feel fucking worse. So, and in these situations, sometimes if Terry gets too escalated, I'll just say, hey, and she's usually actually sometimes beats me to this punch. She's just like, you know what, let's just cool it on this for the moment. Let's just let these nerves settle down, because when we reopen this, it's not going to be such an intense moment, and we'll make more progress. So usually one of the two of us will come to that position, but then we just go about our way in the same space. The leaving thing, I feel doesn't really show it. I feel like it takes away some underlying layer of support to the situation.
And Briana, I can relate to Jon's comment about the leaving or walking part, and it's a conflict with Keith and Lauren. I see Lauren's comment here. Lauren needs the time too to sometimes step away, and I'll often say, you're avoiding this. Like, why can't we communicate about this? Like, why? Like, communicate to me. Like, don't run away. Like, why are you, like, to Jon's point, why are you leaving? If we're having a conflict, why can't we talk about this? Right. So I'm having to learn how to be a part of this too. Briana, can you coach me?
This is why I specifically said that he needed to do the inner work and understand what the walk was doing for him. Because for him, yes, in the scenario of the guy that was going on the walk.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, right? The walk can very easily land as abandonment to her and neglect and taking this sort of pulling this escape hatch.
Well, because that's why. So if I can interrupt, because that's how I have felt in my early years with Lauren, when she's like, I got to go for a walk. I'm like, well, what the hell? I feel like I'm being abandoned. Like, we're in a conflict. You going for a walk right now? I understand, Briana, now how it all works, but in the early days, I was like, dude, why aren't we going through this right now?
Yeah, it absolutely reads as abandonment, and it also reads as immaturity, right? How come I can stand here and be in this and you can't?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's why I said the inner work around why are you doing the walk, and then teach your partner about it and announce it, right? So, hey, partner, this isn't abandonment. And also, a last layer I didn't say is you have to come back to whatever the subject matter was, whatever the conflict was. This walk, this stepping away in absolutely no way closes things. So you still have to come back. So there are sort of requirements if you are going to partake in something like that, but it is okay. I do endorse it if it's treated the right way. So when we announce it, for example, or Lauren, announce it to you, and then has taught you and explained to you what that means. And so that you have a fundamental understanding that is not abandonment and this partner is still in it. It just looks different for them than it does to you. And you do want to be delicate about it, right? If she is crying, this isn't the moment that we walk out and go on walk, right?
Yeah.
No, right? So
Yeah.
you got to use some critical thinking and some good old fashioned common sense with this stuff.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of couples where one party does feel like they need to separate themselves, come back, and that is fair. It is pretty common, and that's okay when it's handled right.
Yeah.
Another thing that I kind of do in these situations is we lose fucking sight of things pretty fucking easily as human beings. It's like even though we know we understand this, we're acting like this, right? And so a lot of times in these situations come up, whatever the issue is, I try to put myself in check very quickly and realize, is this something that I need to be taking a stand against? Or is this something that I should it's way more important to her than it is to me. I'm, for whatever reason, acting like this when I feel like this, and just realize I don't need to be right. I just want to be happy. And this fight is not making me happy. Her being all bent out of shape is not making me happy. So if I catch myself, sometimes I'll just say, whoa, you know what? You're right. I believe this, but somehow is acting like this. So we just need to kind of realize I made a mistake. This whole thing is we can just let it kind of wipe itself away. And I usually will try to have some sort of a resolution in regards that, because this shit happens to me. I will tell her often, look, I need you to give me a signal that tells me that I might be drifting off in that direction when I'm, when I don't know it. Like our middle daughter, we used the word alligator when she was starting to act really frickin' rip, like push-pullish.
Yes.
Didn't know it. We'd say alligator. And sometimes she'd piss her off, but other times she'd be like, oh shit, I'm doing it again. Well, I have that too. So I guess when it comes down to, sometimes we get in these freaking fights when, is it really important?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not important at all. And if you can identify that, and especially, important to me, if it's something really important to me, of course I want to communicate. I don't want to harbor resentment. But if it's something that this whole fucking thing blew up and it's not a fucking big deal to me, it's a big deal to her, I try to frame that real fucking quick and just kind of talk to her like I'm doing right now to you guys. Say, hey, fuck, you're right. I'm sorry that somehow, some way I drifted off course.
And Jon, I can see how that, but Jon, I can see how that can become Briana's superiority or a little bit, right? Because if Jon's thinking that it's maybe I could be accused of this too, where it's not that important to me and I'm trying to take a leveled approach where it's more important to my partner. I can see how that whole, it's not important to you, and then all of a sudden I can see you nodding that superiority kind of sneaks in.
Think like not so think of like perfect example, like when not important meaning like it's not that I don't care. It's something that in many cases for Terry and I, when we get in some sort of a beef, it's because, as she says, I go underwater. I get so focused on something, I lose my focus on her.
Yeah,
it happens. So it happens gently enough that I don't even recognize it sometimes. And so a lot of times we get into a beef like that, and I see it, and I'm like, okay. And at that point, I realize that that's really important for her to register, as to where, to me, when I say not important, I don't mean that it's not important. I should have said it's something that it's like I don't want to fight for this. Does that make sense?
100%. Yes.
That might be a better way to describe it. Not that it's not important, because it's, it's something that's an issue for her and not for me. So I'm happy to, sorry.
Yeah, and be a part of that conversation. Good morning, everybody. Hang out with Keith and Jon and Briana Bass. We got Petra in the comments here saying, simple communication and agreement to take a few moments or even moving to another room promotes cooperation rather than competition, which is absolutely true. We want to cooperate over competition. And I said it before to Briana, Jon. I still think we can learn how to fight better with our partners. I think, Briana, you'd agree with that, as I see you're trying to figure out your technical challenges there.
But
we learn how to fight, don't we? We need to learn.
Yeah, learning how to do conflict is the best thing you could do. And I never help people with not fighting. It's how to fight, right?
Yes.
But there's a lot of points that need to be made on this. And it's too condensed, but these men, if that's what we're talking about, didn't, set out to do this. This wasn't necessarily intentional.
No.
It's very common that mom or dad, either parent, right, whose emotional state was overwhelming or it was a lot whenever they were growing up and they were unpredictable or unsafe to engage with, especially this generation, right, that we're talking about and to.
Yes.
And so as kids, you probably learned that the best thing to do, the best strategy was to go flat, disappear emotionally, maybe check out, get small, get quiet. And you are right. If you screamed back at mom or screamed back at dad or participated in the fight the way that they were, not a good strategy. So you are completely correct. This was the best thing that you could employ. But being the easy one, being the quiet one, or the one that didn't make waves or getting small in the conflict, right, does not work anymore and actually is causing your marriage or your relationship to fall apart. So yeah, you've got to update this, but I don't think that people are villains and that anyone really set out to do this. I think a lot of it is a deep-seated root back to some of that strategy that worked when we were little. I can personally identify with that. So when my mom got angry and went off, the smaller I became, the conflict, if I were to participate would be 10 minutes, and without it, let's say 5 minutes. So here we are in our adult later years withdrawing.
You know what? So as we wrap this up, the biggest thing I took away from this, you guys, is Johnny, I love that you announce it. Hey, Briana, announce it. So I think the next time I go into a conflict with Lauren, I'm going to find a way to announce, John, take something from you, Briana, just announce my emotion or announce acknowledgement, Briana, so that we can go through it. Would that be a fair next step, Briana, from that? Like announce it.
You need to name it out loud, right?
Yes.
You need to name it out loud. And this goes for a lot of different things, but name it out loud, right? The goal, the goal is just simply to think, I want my partner to have the least amount of mystery as possible. I want them to have all the data and all of the answers. So name it out loud. And every time you do that, you're also investing in the long term, because odds are you have some sort of go-to nervous system and just patterns that are happening whenever you get in conflict. So every time you name it out loud, it is a teaching moment, and that goes into the bank for further understanding the next time around. And it builds on top of each other. So it's always a wise move.
Love it. Love it. Johnny, some great conversation with Briana this morning. We always like to throw it back to some vintage spots here. Jimmy, what do you got for us this morning? What are we going to go back to this morning on the big show we call Mornings in the... Oh, yes. A day in the 1980s. That was absolutely a day in the 80s. Yeah, that was some pictures from my album there. Man, that looks like it was yesterday. Johnny, that was the 80s, man. That was the good times. No phones, no cameras anywhere, just people looking bored, but maybe actually not bored through life there as they were going through it.
What makes you think they look bored?
No, I'm cracking a comment. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm saying that. I'm sorry. I'm saying that quite sarcastically.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is. We're seeing pictures of people that are communing versus fucking people sitting around their fucking phones.
I was being very sarcastic. Like actually connecting as humans. Time together. Like, look, they're actually hanging out with nothing in their hands. They're spending time together. So, hey, Briana, quickly before we go to Jon, and Briana, before you go from JR, I know one thing not to do is to match and escalate your tone. It's like both of you throwing a lighter fluid on a fire that keeps growing out of control. And I see you nodding there, right? Because if you both keep matching, it's just going to get shit sense, isn't it, Briana?
The part from today was not to match the tone or to engage necessarily in the same way. Not at all. It was to be present. It was to be present. And being quiet is not being present, even if you're listening. You're being silent is not being present, right? So do not leave her alone in the argument. So you can state what you need to state and not match her tone, but do it in a way that's still controlled and however you want to present. But it is, I am engaged here. My objective is to be in this with you right now. And that's what it is.
Yeah. Briana, you're always teaching me, man, every single Tuesday. Oh, hey, Briana, Jon, before you guys go.
Hey, Jon, before you go, did you see that midwife class clip? I swear the mannequin just had a more dramatic birth than my ex's apology tour. Bro, it's a full-on delivery. Legs up, baby doll sliding out, students staring like, welp, that escalated. I flinched and I'm not even pregnant. The caption is just,
Like, yeah, OMG is the official medical term for why is this so real and why am I sweating?
Comments are pure chaos. Half the internet praising moms, the other half like, I thought this was real and I almost threw my phone into the ocean. Also, the baby doll comes out like it's late for a meeting. No warm-up, no intro, just surprise, bitch. That's how life starts? Hey, John, if this is the practice version, what the hell is the final exam? And why do I suddenly want a vasectomy and a miracle at the same time?
Well, two things. Number one, that vehicle is much better when Brianna are in there cruising on the beach with the top down, having a good time. And then secondly, tell the gay brother he doesn't have to worry about getting a vasectomy when he's still fucking with males.
Jesus, Murphy. I saw this clip and I was like, what the hell? When I first saw it, it's teaching people how to be midwives, Brianna. Like just a good old clip. Yeah, what is that, JR? Exactly. It's somebody learning how to birth a baby. Just the yes.
I'm the wrong audience for this because I think that like you all came from a woman and through some form of labor and like periods, everyone has them and all the things and like everyone poop. It's the everyone poops of the things. Like I don't know why we still act like this stuff is like salacious and shocking. It's the tale as old as time. Like literally,
it's so true though.
So agree.
I found it because it was like there's a mannequin birthing a plastic mannequin. That's what. But I'm with you, Brandon. It's like we all spread our legs and have kids. We produce humans, but this was like that. Okay, there's a plastic mannequin producing a plastic mannequin. There you go. Brianna, every Tuesday, love hanging out with you. Thanks for joining myself and John. A lot of fun here, and I still think we need to have a conversation about teaching us how to fight. Like how to have the conflict.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe sometimes we should do series or something like that
because
it is really hard to fit in so
That's
many
a great
things
idea.
Good
That's
points.
a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I do feel like I don't say things that I want to for self-editing for the sake of time.
Yeah. Well, let me get better at that. I'll get better at that for next week, and we'll create a series around that. So, Johnny, Brianna, I love you both. I appreciate you guys as well as always, and a lot of fun here today. Let's get you guys out of here. John, I know Ben's waiting for you, and Brianna, I know your life is waiting for you today. So, thanks, you guys. Appreciate you both.
Always good to see you, Brianna.
Bye, guys.
All right. See you, Brianna. See you, Johnny.
Have a good.
All right. See you later, guys. John's out of here. See you, pal. Brianna's out of here, and there he is. There. Yeah, he's gone. All right. 50 seconds, eh? 50. What a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed that chat with Brianna, myself, and John as much as I did. I learn every single Tuesday, and I really enjoyed having Lauren in the comments there as well. I really appreciated her engagement, her contributions, and I suspect because Keith and John put themselves out there, you guys can relate to. If my goal is if I can create relatable stories for you guys, maybe you guys can feel relatable to us, and we can all grow collectively together. Which is why we do this on the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. We get after it live, 7:30 with Matt Roof. He kicks off the network. The Mornings in the Lab Live Authority Network, 7:30 every single Monday through Friday. Okay, we're gonna do the morning focus, and then no Maya Reyes today. No, we're bumping Maya because we got Thoughts and Coffee with Sarah Barnes Humphrey and the Supply Chain Show coming up here in about 20 minutes. But before we do that, in 50 seconds, I'm gonna come back for I got something to talk to you guys about, and it's about the fact that morning television dead. Yep, dead, gone, dead. But morning media, what we're creating here, is not. And that monologue starts in 50 seconds.
Morning television's dying. Morning ritual isn't. If we don't rebuild the room, someone else will. Comfort isn't trust. Familiar is incredible. People can feel when we're reading lines instead of reading the moment. We call it changing tastes. That's a dodge. We got safer. We stopped taking responsibility for the energy. That safety costs us attention. It costs us respect. It teaches our kids that showing up means performing, not leading. AI can support the pace. It can't supply the spine. The job is still human judgment in real time. We don't win mornings with polish. We win with presence people can borrow. Give them clarity, and they'll give us return. This isn't a reboot. It's a standard. Keith's about to name what the new morning requires and why it matters.
Some would say that morning television is dead, and me included, actually. Yep, but morning media, not. Nope. No, morning media is not dead. I think it's actually stronger and could potentially be stronger than ever, which is why we are so committed to what we are building here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and Friends. And you know, I know all of us grew up with morning television and morning media and morning radio and all of that morning stuff that we are trying to reproduce here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and Friends. Get my notes in front of me here. But we all grew up with turning on CBS, Fox, NBC, the morning shows, the big studio, all those safe morning jokes, the scripted chemistry. Even if you thought that the people didn't like each other, like, yeah, oh yeah, there's the weather, there's the news, and there's the celebrity, and every morning that comfort. A little bit of noise in the background, a little something to fill the room while we're getting ready. But something changed along the way, you guys. Not just the taste, not just the technology, but, well, morning TV, morning television stopped feeling like morning life. It stopped feeling like it belonged to you. Think about it, because I know who you are. Yeah, you're just like me. You're the generation that still feels like they've forgotten about us. And morning TV started feeling like it belonged to everybody else but you. Advertisers, consultants, and a shrinking audience hanging on because, well, it was easy. Get up and there you go. Exactly. Good time. Morning cartoons. It's just easy to go there. Well, I am pleased and I'm glad that you guys are shifting your habits to come here, because modern mornings have got more intense. Think about it, guys. Think about the modern morning today compared to the morning that we woke up with. Today's morning, the phone already barking. Your inbox full. We didn't have an inbox in the 70s and the 80s. No, it was walking to the mailbox. Now, which kid needs a ride? Now, my schedule is stacked. Now the world, hey, petrol, the world is louder than ever. And now the internet that we live in is right there. That's in my phone, just begging you for your attention before you even chosen what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, what you're going to do today. And here's the important part about all of it. People, here's the thing, and here's why I'm so bullish about what we are doing in the mornings. People still need a morning ritual. That hasn't changed. Habit. Humans want rhythm. We do, don't we? We want that familiarity. We want that voice that we can trust. I believe that so much, which is why, truthfully, why we're doing this Monday through Friday, creating the Live Authority Network. Because humans want a room like you and I to belong to. We want a room that feels like it has a pulse, not a room that belongs to advertisers. So the morning slot, I believe, and I'm sharing with you guys, is the most valuable real estate in media that nobody's paying attention to. Not yet. It's just that the old structure that has been built can't support the new world of today, which is why I'll put my hand up to say I've been so vociferous at building it. Yesterday's world has moved on. I'm not going to stand here and go, oh, I'm the old guy. I'm just all these different generations. No. Instead, I'm going to do something about it. So we created a brand new format, the morning format, the Mornings in the Lab format, the MITL format. The format has to evolve. Morning media doesn't need more polish. There's enough of that on the networks. No, I believe, and I know Petra believes this too, and I know Briana Bass believes this too. Mornings need more truth. Mornings need more presence and less distance. More of the community. Less of the, everything is fine. Hey, Jimmy, everything is fine. And less of the fake bullshit. Less of the, oh man, morning TV has turned into corporate cadence. Have you watched it lately? Yeah, it's like the modern viewer can smell the performance. They can smell when the hosts are reciting all of the scripted crap from the sponsors. And I'm thinking they can even feel when a show is designed by a committee. Every morning show that I have witnessed as of late has become vanilla. They can tell when a conversation is safe because the contracts are, oh, we can't say that. Oh, we can't say that. Hey, Petrol, we can't say that because we're going to offend somebody. Well, here's my thoughts. Morning media, I hope, I prefer, I suggest, I want morning media to feel alive again. That is what we are trying to do on this show. daily. Create life. And alive means it's happening right now. Live in front of you daily. And alive means that the host can think. We can react in real time, not with somebody putting something in our ear because the corporate lawyer said we couldn't see it. No, alive means improvising. It means pivoting. It means calling an audible. It means challenging the audience. It means engaging with the trolls and still holding and keeping the room. And I've learned there's a skill to this. And alive means the show has movement, segments, surprises, interaction, recurring bits, running jokes, the callbacks, the stuff that we do here daily. And alive means the audience you feel like you're a participant, not just a spectator. Have you guys watched morning TV lately? Have you engaged with morning television lately? Have they engaged back with you lately? No. Alive also means that AI, that everybody's so afraid of in the entertainment industry, is in the room, here. Not pretending to be in the room. AI, yeah, it's going to power production. It's going to pull reference. It's going to throw in a character. It's going to help you create pace. It's even going to make the show smarter, but it can't replace the human nervous system that we bring live every single day. It won't replace judgment. It won't replace the credibility you earn. And, yeah. So, when you think about it, what's the future? The future morning media is not AI everywhere. No, it's human-led. It's AI amplified. It's the characters, but also the real people. And it's the structure, but also the chaos that we drive every single morning. The unpredictable, predictable chaos that you don't know whether it's coming or going. It's the utility of getting up, knowing that Keith and John and the whole crew are here mornings. People just don't want to be informed in the morning. No. People want to be entertained. They want to feel like they're part of the direction. They want someone to help them frame what matters to start their day. They want a room that says, good time, here's the baseline. Here's what we're paying attention to today. Here's what we're ignoring. Here's what we're laughing at. Here's what we're building. In a world of so many choices, where do you start? Because back in the olden days, morning TV was built to fill time. It was like, hey, wait a minute. We got a few hours in the morning. We can start this morning show pretty cheap and we can help people wake up, and we're going to fill some time in the morning. But here's the thing. Today's morning media, oh baby, on the Mornings in the Lab Live Authority Network, today's morning media will be built to earn your trust. A completely different job. It's harder. Oh fuck, man, it's harder. It's scarier. But it's definitely more rewarding, because when you earn trust in the morning, you, my friend, you become part of someone's life. You become part of someone's habit. That to me is what fascinates me about so many folks who want to fall back to doing the predictable. I'm doing a podcast next week. No, the easy thing is to start a morning conversation. Join the network. That is ownership. And here's the thing, nation. I'm speaking to all of you in my generation, the generation we call X. Gen X, you, me, we collectively, we are the perfect audience for us. Because we remember yesterday. Yes, but while living in today. We remember carrying families, careers, aging parents, pressure, and we still want a morning anchor without all the corporate bullshit. I know you because I am you. We want presence. We want the humor, the intelligence, and frankly, something that's going to respect your time. So no, I'm not going to stand here being nostalgic on you guys, and I'm also not going to be interested in being cynical, but I'm very optimistic because morning television, look at the stats, dying. But that's fine because morning media is not. The habit, that is alive. And the people building that are building something more powerful than a show. We are building a place, a room, a ritual, a reason for you, for me, for Kai, for Tom, for Briana, a place to return. And in a world drowning in non-stop content, a world drowning in AI slop everywhere, in a world drowning in misguided trust, returning to a habit that you can trust, like morning media, like Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Returning Returning's the whole game. Wow, we're wrapping up here already. Holy smoke-a-ronies, yes. Did you guys enjoy that? I did. I enjoyed delivering it. Big time, big time, big time. Hey guys, we're wrapping up because in 8 minutes, we got the logistics show, thoughts and coffee. If you were into supply chain stuff, and maybe you're not, and I've got to tell you guys something. Ever since we started doing work with Sarah and Sarah's team, I have been paying more attention to the supply chain industry, and it's actually quite fascinating. And it's not as nerdy and geeky as you think. More importantly, how much impact that industry has on all of us. And, you know, we see the headlines, you know, the Strait of Hormuz closed and stuff being stacked up everywhere and can't get anywhere. I go back to COVID, nation, and how we all were affected not only by COVID, but by the supply chain being disrupted around the entire planet. So I invite you, check out Thoughts and Coffee coming up here in 7 minutes over on our network. And of course, Thoughts and Coffee. And we should ask them to sell our mirrors too. Yes, this is true. 100%. All right, guys, listen. Why she hates your calm. The narcissism of the avoidant husband. Yes, Briana Bass came in today and lifted up the idea that silence doesn't always equal maturity. Nope. I learned about that one today. We talked about the avoidant husband who thinks he's being calm. JR, you're not being calm, brother. Announce it. Announce you're going for a walk. Announce that you hear her. Announce that you're respecting and understanding of the situation. And then if you got to take some time, do that. Because if you're just going to be quiet, you might be actually stonewalling the situation. You might be actually controlling the temperature in a way that you might not even be aware is having negative consequences to the situation. While she's chasing connection and you're sitting there like a big unplugged an appliance. Like, yeah, I'm just sitting here avoiding it all. No. If your calm makes her feel alone, unsafe, ignored, and crazy, it's probably not calm. It might just be called avoidance with better branding, and I might be accused of being part of that. Hey, Tom Farley was here, Chris Farley's brother, from burying his hero to 25 years of recovery. Tom and myself and John had a fascinating conversation about grief, recovery, addiction, ensembles, families, and what happens after the world moves on from a tragedy. But the people closest to it all, well, they still have time to live. This was not, nation, this was not a conversation about Chris Farley. No, it was about love. It was about loss. It was about isolation, healing, and frankly, why recovery cannot happen alone. Yeah. And we wrapped it up today with morning television is dead. Morning media that we're creating here is not. Nope. So we invite you, 7:30 with Matt Roof, of course, 8 o'clock. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, guys, coming up tomorrow, Peter Frichelli, from a sex money murder to Fast and Furious, the ATF agent who blew the whistle on his own government. Oh, baby. Peter J. Forcelli, retired ATF deputy assistant director, former NYPD officer, and a 9/11 first responder with a career that runs straight through some of the hardest corners of American law enforcement. He worked violent crime. He served in ATF leadership. He blew the whistle on the government's Fast and Furious operation. And now he spent years advocating for wrongful conviction, leadership ethics, mental health. This is the guy I'm suspecting, Kai, that does not jaywalk. No, coming up tomorrow, Peter Forcelli. And yes, tomorrow's topic of the day, stop trying to be your teenager's best friend. Yep. We're talking about fathers, about why your teenager does not need another buddy. Nope, not another ATM. They need a parent. They need some boundaries. They need some guidance. So tomorrow, get ready for it. The big show, 8 o'clock, mornings.live, mornings.network. We'll see you in less than 22 hours. Stick around for Sarah Barnes-Humphrey and the rest of the gang. Thoughts and Coffee. I'm wrapping up. I'm Keith Billis, on behalf of Jon Andersen and the crew. Good morning, everybody. Have a great one. I'm out of here.